Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? Good. So to give you a little bit of background about me, I'm Pascal Condamine, VP Startup at Scaleway. And why I'm here today is to share my experience. I've been in the startup ecosystem for more than 15 years. To give you some background, I started in biotechnology before moving to tech, so all the paths lead to tech, and worked for 7 years in molecular biology. Then I did a change in my career and joined the tech side by building a web marketing agency that I had for 7 years. And at the same time, like one challenge is not enough. Building a second company on the side that was e-commerce company selling paraveterinarians product for cats, dogs, and horses. And after that, joined Indiegogo, the crowdfunding platform, the US one, and I was based in France covering for Europe, which gave me the opportunity to come here a few years back, so that's my second time at Touch Summit, and I really love this place and this conference. And then the skill set I got from being an entrepreneur and also working at Indiegogo and working with a lot of startups allowed me to join Scaleway almost 4 years ago to kickstart our startup program to support startups. So since then, we have worked with more than 1,000 startups, and I'm here to share my knowledge and give you some insights on entrepreneurship. I discovered, doing some research before coming here, that there are more or less 400 startups in the Georgian ecosystem. I might be wrong, correct me if it's not true. But I was really impressed knowing the ecosystem, seeing how early it is to see that there are that many entrepreneurs. However, 90% of all startups will fail. And it depends, of course, on the maturity of the entrepreneurs, the skill set, the field. But out of these 10 that will succeed, 5% will do an IPO and 5% will do an exit. And so I'm really here, hopefully, to do a little impact and lower this failing rate by give you some tips today. The first one on the business side is think international from the start. I see too many startups looking at their local ecosystem first and then thinking about expanding, which is a mistake because you don't think big enough from the start. And one important question is, what problem are you trying to solve? Is it a big problem? Is it a small problem? And what's going to be the size of the market? You might solve a problem, but if only 10 people have it, that's not going to make it a sustainable and scalable business. And what's the go-to-market strategy? Very often when I look at pitch deck, it's like just social media partnership, but it's not really clear what's the go-to-market strategy. And for that, discussing with one of the startups a few months back that we have in the program was saying that they went to CES, the big electronic show, consumer electronic show in Vegas a few years back, and they met the prospect that was interested in their product, and what they did is build it together, which allowed them to build a feature that the customer will want, make him part of the product, and make him become a customer. And this customer, they like the product so much because they built it with the startup that they become also their best ambassador. And that's something really to take into account in try to ask your community or your future prospect on what do they want and which feature they'll need for the product. And also don't build the product that you think the market wants, but build it with the market. And do it quick, launch quick. Don't try to have the final product and that you'll have to change in the future. Try to launch the MVP and iterate as fast as you can on the product. In order to support the scale and help you, I think one important thing is tools and processes also. Tools because use the tools that are going to help you scale. Do you have the right CRM? Do you have the right communication internal tool? And more importantly, document the processes. So that's the scientist in me that is like, you need to have everything written and documented. But mostly, I think at the early stage of a startup, it's important to document what you are doing and document the internal knowledge and processes. Because if one of your co-founder leaves, that was an important part of the company, and hasn't documented how he was doing things and what has been done, then it takes a lot of time and resources now that you have to catch up on things. And it's something that my team would say where I'm extremely annoying with that, but each time there are new processes in place with our internal structure to have them all written and really like little A, click on that, little B, click on that, and have it very clearly written like that when a new person on board and can take over the job very easily by taking over. And English first, of course, because if you want to think international from the start, well, you need to deal with English, and having it at the start of the company is going to make it a lot easier. I mean, I work for a French cloud company, like you can hear my accent, and we can see that sometimes it's hard because when there are like 3 French people and 1 English, we tend to speak in French instead of English, as if it's in the culture from the start, it makes it easier. Build your infrastructure ready to scale from the start, and this one is important. Of course, I work for cloud computing, so this is my job nowadays. But redundancy of the data, be sure that you don't have all your data just in one place, but there is redundancy through AZs, availability zones, but also be sure to have a local backup in case a data center burns or anything. Build your infrastructure responsibly. Yeah. It's not because you have credits that you should take the big machines and big servers and do not care about how much is spent, because the day you're going to run out of credits, well, you're going to have to do FinOps and scale down and lose time and resources. As if you think from the start and be responsible, you're going to save time and be smart about it. Avoid lock-in vendors. If you need to change provider for X or Y reason, for products, for redundancy, because you want to have a multi-cloud approach, be sure that you are not stuck with a proprietary solution or egress fees that are going to cost you an arm and a leg to leave your provider. And last one, the data sovereignty. I don't know here in Georgia how important it is, but when I look at all the startups that are coming to our startup program, it's more and more important in Europe, and especially when you work with big corporations that wants to have their data stored not only in Europe, but with a European provider. The right team at the right time. One thing that I see is a lot of startups, because of money and resources, tend to hire a very junior position. And it might be fine at the start, but try to hire experienced people as soon as you can, just because it will help you go faster, but also build better because you are going to leverage the experience of senior people. Hire multilingual people just because diversity of culture, of vision, bring fresh eye on a subject is always very important for a company, and it's going to also help you once you want to scale internationally. And then build your culture, your company culture. Define the values of your company. How is your company? Is it like for us? If you take if I take Scaleway, we define values that all the employees can align behind, but it also help us in hiring talents that find themselves in the values of the company. Selling local, or on the legal part, there are some few points that I'm wanting to point out. Are you ready to sell abroad? Are your terms of use of services in terms of use written in a way that you'll be able to sell internationally? Is it just you thought too small from the start and it's just adapted to your local market, or did you think big from the start and it can be applied to anywhere you want to sell? And also be mindful and careful about your intellectual property to protect it and avoid to be stolen even if, or copied. The entrepreneur mindset, some few tricks and ideas that I have as being in the ecosystem. An entrepreneur never says no. You always find a solution. If a client or prospect come to see you and say, I like this feature, and in your head it's like, wow, that's going to take too much resources, the answer still should not be no, but yes, let's talk about it. How much are you ready to pay to get this feature? How long are you ready to engage with ourselves if we are going to have this feature and develop for you? So never say no, always find a solution. An entrepreneur is agile. Also, just be always ready. Going to conferences, be always ready to pitch in a clear way. Do you have your elevator pitch, like your sentence in order to introduce and present your company ready? Is it clear? If it was your grandma or your child, would you be able to explain in just one sentence very clear what you do? And be also ready, like if you go to conferences, very often you'll find yourself pitch your company in a very weird situation, in a bar, in the bathroom, anywhere. So be ready for that. Build a valuable network. And I think this one is also extremely important. Always have a very genuine and gentle approach to the people you meet. The person you discuss with might not be the person you would want to talk to and might be directly interesting for you, but it doesn't mean that this person cannot help you and support you with your company. The person you talk to, his sister, his brother, his wife, or his husband, her husband, might be the person you would have liked to talk to, and then might be the connection to it. So always have a gentle and kind approach with people. I've seen too many entrepreneurs being a little bit like, oh, you're not my target, I don't really want to talk to you, and being a little bit rude. And your network will help you in scaling your company, help you finding the right talents, maybe, for your company, help you raise money. So cherish your network and always let them know what you need. Very often, when I discuss with startups, and mostly when they enter in the program, and I get to chat with them, I'm always like, if you need something, ask me. If I can do it, I will help you with pleasure. If I cannot, I'll tell you no. But I cannot support you or help you if I don't know what are your needs and your ask. I don't see future, unfortunately. Entrepreneur carries the spirit and ambitions of the company. When you go somewhere and you talk to someone, the way you present, the way you talk about your company, it's going to give the vision to the person you talk to about what's your company about, what are your values, and it's also give the idea of, do I want to support this entrepreneur or not? So it's really important to remember that as an entrepreneur, we carry the values and the ambitions of our company. And I think I'm good. If you want to stay in touch and connect with me, here is my QR code for my LinkedIn profile. And I'm here all day, so if you want to come and chat with me, please do. Thank you very much.